Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channels. In this video, we are going to learn how to create a router and how to create a nav link. Nav link in the sense navbar. So how you can create a navbar? So we are going to discuss in this video one by one. So it's very easy for you to understood how to create a navbar. Okay, so we can say header. Navbar is nothing but it's just a header, so we can say header also. So for this we already covered in this series how to create a fast Angular application as of now. Next we need to understood for doing some changes, edit some data, we required one editor. So for this I'm going to use VS Code. VS Code, Visual Studio Code download. Okay, just search on Google's, and if you have it's fine, if you don't have just download it so that you can do work with me. So go to this place and you can see here, if you are using Windows, click here and download it and just click next. Automatically it's downloaded, you don't want to do anything. Okay, if your system is Mac, click on this. Based on your operating system you can download and then you can start working on that. Okay, so I think I don't want to download because in my system I already have a Visual Studio Code. So I will open my Visual Studio Code. Okay, and you already know we already created one project for CRUD operations. So go to the Angular YouTube. So here I created employee management system or Angular CRUD operation. So anyone you can take, no problem. So in this series we are going to continue with employee management system. So this is also a new application. Okay, so I'm going to open this with this VS Code. So open your VS Code once you installed, then go to the file, click on the file open folder and go to this path where your application you created and click on this application and just select the folders. So all your application is imported here, employment management system. Okay, so by default this is the structure you can see in your Angular project. Okay, this is the by default structures. Okay, right now we don't have anything, I already remove. So for your understanding, this is the index.html. here you can add the global change, like if you want to add some CSS, some JavaScript, so you can add here inside the index.htmls. If you are using component you can use this app.components. So this is the one of the main components. So for example I want to print hello world on browser, that's it. Okay, so I'm going to the app.component, whatever is available inside the app.component, remove all those things. I already removed it. So you just write hello world and then after you can create new terminals, or if your terminal is open it's fine. Go to here and you have a command to run. So ng serve and -o, it is used to -o is used to run your application directly forcefully on the browser. So automatically your application, your browser is open and application is running on your default browsers. So for this we can give an O, and ng and serve is used to run your application. Okay, so it takes some times to run. Okay, so this is the work we have to do. Okay, let's go. Generating. generating the browser application bundles page. So it takes some times for running your applications, and you go to the browsers. If you don't want to go to the browsers, it automatically open your browser also. It's a redirect kind of things which happen, redirect to the browsers. So once your application is done, you can see here compiled successfully, and Angular live development is, and you can see directly move to your browsers. Okay, and here whatever you given in app.modules.html, it's print data in that place, browser place. Okay, I hope guys you understood very well. Now I want to add here one navbar. I want to add here one navbar. Navbar, it means header. So how can I do it? So you don't want to think too much. Just open your Bootstrap, go to the browsers and search Bootstrap. You get the platform of Bootstrap. Go inside the Bootstrap, open this, and just try to learn how to do work with Bootstrap. It's a very easy. Okay, once you go to the inside the Bootstrap, you have to do first two things. Like first thing is copy the CSS properties and go to your application, and I already show you index.html. Inside that index.html, you just add the Bootstrap property, so automatically it will work in your applications. So I added Bootstrap properties CSS. I will add Bootstrap a script also. Okay, so I will add a script also to go to this place, Control V, or save this. So our Bootstrap property is saved in my application. So right now if you are using any property of Bootstrap, dynamically it's effect, it's doing effect. Now you want one navbar, so search here navbar tabs. Yeah, navbar. Navbar, it means header. So if your page want headers, you can go to this place, navbar, or any things you can copy. For example, this is the navbar. I want this navbar. Okay, do copy this code, whatever you can given this code here. Copy this code and go to your applications and you open app.modules. Here remove these things, and you can see your navbar is ready. You are not doing anything, you are just going to copy and do it. You can see here navbar is ready. You can see here your navbar is ready. Navbar, home, link, drop down, disable. If you want to see, you can see search button also here. This is the search button, this is the search. Everything navbar is ready for you. Okay, now you have to think like what is your requirement. So based on your requirement you can change this. Okay, so I don't want this search button, I just want here two tags. So go to your neighbor application and you don't want this thing. So these things you don't want any button. Okay, so these things you don't want, remove this. If you don't want those things, remove this, and go to the down UL, and from the UL remove all those things. Okay, remove all those things. Apart from this, what you don't want these things. Okay, so before you will remove these things. Okay, so you can see your now navbar is very simple look like. Okay, do down. Okay, here you can see your navbar. So navbar expand. If you want large, you can do large. If you want a small, you can make it a small. Navbar you want light or BG ground, BG. So navbar I want dark, dark, and BG background color I want primary, primary. So this is the bootstrap property, primary color. This is the dark color. So navbar text will become dark and BG primary will become primary color. So it's a blue color we can say. And here I don't want these things. Okay, so remove this. And nav item, and nav item inside I don't want this one also, active or not active. Aerial page also I don't want. href also I don't want. Remove all those things. So nav link, that's it. And we are going to develop. So if based on your requirement you can do it. So for example, I want list of a student. So this is the one link I want, and one more I want. Add a student. Add a student. That's it. 2 tab I want. I just save this and go to your Chrome, and you can see you are able to see 2 tabs. Okay, and this is the primary colors, these colors, and you can see this is the light, dark light. So this is the hover is heaven. You can see it's look like wheel. Okay, so you are able to create a navbar, no problem, no doubt. If you want to make it this bold and this is little bit not bold, so you can do this also. So go to this place, make it bold, and /b. Okay, if you see, you can see list of a student and add a student. So this is the navbar I want. I don't want more than that. It's a fine, and it's look like for me good, no doubt in that. Okay, so this one navbar I want. Okay, it's fine, but if you click in this navbar, it's not working because you are not configure the this component. This is the component actually. So this component is not available also, and you are not configure the router. So in this video I plan to do 2 things. One is routing and another thing is nav link, yani ki header. So header is done. As of now header is done. Now I want to implement router. So router, for this I have to create 2 components. One is for list of a student and one is for add a student or create a student. So go to your applications and take one more new terminals, and here you have to create something. So something in the sense like you have to create some components. So ng global component, and component is a student list, a student hyphen list. I want to show that page list of a student, so a student list. Okay, so based on that he created 4 component, you can see here, and one is updated. So these are the component he created, those files. If you go to see a student list, 1 2 3 4 component he created, and inside this having a one HTML page also, a student list component.html. So this is the main page where we can do the work and we can show the list of the student. Okay, and this is the file where we can do some changes, we can do some dynamically data store the data, those kind of the things we are going to do here in this page. Okay, one more component I want. So ng global C4 component, and component name I will give like create a student. That's it. So for this also creates the 4 component. So we will see. So this one is also created. You can see create a student, and so create a student, list of a student, both are there. Okay, inside the create a student also is 4 files. One is the HTML page where you can register the student, like fill the data of a student and click, so you can register the student data. And here we can dynamically store the student data for this he given us. So every component having a 4 file generated whenever you generate. So this is the very good features in Angular to dynamically develop the component. I also love it. I enjoy also these features. Okay, good. Now we have a 2 component. Now we have to set a router. So router you have to set inside the app.component. Okay, here you can see const router or routes. So here you have to do all the routers, because this is the global page for all the component. Okay, so this is the global page. Inside this global page you are creating all those sub page. Okay, so make sure you have to do here only, not in other place. Okay, so this is the router I am going to configure here. So for router you just need to go inside this, take one angular bracket. Inside the angular bracket write path. What called path colon, give the just what we call end point, we can say, or you can say the what the data he given in the browsers, that time you have to redirect those pages. So for example, first I want to redirect students page, students, students, यानी कि list of student I want to show. So for this I have to take one component colon student list component, done. So this is the one router will be created for list of students. I want one more router for add a student. So I will take one more add a student, and this is the component. So take component like create a student. That's it. So though 2 paths I configure for students and add students, and both component I created just before. You see, add a student list component, create a student list component. So if you give add a student list, he maintain like that all those component file like that. Add a student component, create a student component. I hope you understood. Okay, fine. Now you have to go to your nav bar, we can say header, and here you have to configure the router. For example, this is the anchor tag. So here you can give href also, but we have to configure the router. So we have a one router property called router link. Router link. So inside the router link, if you give list of a student, so just give a student. Okay, and here you want to show the page router link for add a student. So add student. Okay, whatever router you configure, those path you have to give here. Okay, once it is done, go to your browsers, refresh this, and if you click the list of students, you are not able to see anything. Add students, nothing. So it's not redirected, it's not doing redirected, it's doing or not doing. If you see here, he's showing add a student. Is it fine? Add a student. If you click add a students, it's not going to other places. So by default he's showing add a student. Go back. It's not showing. Okay, so something router problem is there. Okay, so how you can configure the router? So for this we want one router, so you have to router link is student. This is the student you give him. Router link router. Okay, fine. So this is the nav link, add a student. Okay, so go to the app router. Here you can see students. So if you want to go the student path, take this one, go here and paste here. Okay, so you can redirect to the student page. Go to this place, add a student, copy this, go to this router. So we will give in this wrong name, so you have to give this correct. Add a student, I think it's fine. Okay, now go to your browser. So make sure you give the proper name, so it will work. So you are able to redirect. See here in this place only, see in this place only. If you click add a student, it's showing a students. If you click add a student, it's showing add a student. Students, add a student, a student, add a student. But we are not going to those pages because we already having those pages. Like if you go to create a student, having a page called this page, create a student's work. If you go to the student list, you can see here having a page called a student list work. It's not going to those pages. So this is the one of the problem. So for this we have to configure here router outlet. If you configure the router outlet, so this is the better way to configure. Inside the div, take one div, and inside the div take one class and container, make it container, container, container. And inside the container you can make it router outlet. So if you make it router outlet, so your page will be redirected out also. Okay, not only for the endpoint, also page will redirect. Go to the browsers and you can see here, if you are in the add a student, it's showing create a student's work. If you are in a student, you can see a student list work, create a student's work, a student list work. So this what we want, and we do this. Create a student. If you create in this place, it's showing this one create a student space. If you go to the list, it's showing the list. So in future we are going to implement, like if you click on add students, so it show some form like input field, you have to fill the data, submit it, it's going to the server, store in the database. If you go to the list student, it's showing the list of the students, whatever the registers. So this is the target for this video, and we have successfully configured a router with navlink. Navlink, it means nothing but header. header with our routers in Angulars we have done. Thank you so much for watching my video. We will continue for the next time and we will do better. Like in next video I'm going to discuss, I'm going to implement this list of maybe I will implement this add a student page. Okay, add a student page so that we can register the student data in database. So these things I'm going to implement in next video. Thank you so much for watching my video. We will meet next video. Bye.